That was Chopin Nocturne in C sharp minor, one of my all-time favorite compositions. I gave my first solo recital at age 6 with around 1,000 people in the audience, and basically started my performance career since then. Professors from many different countries wanted me to study abroad, and each tried to convince me that his or her countries could provide me with the best musical education by pointing out the flaw of the education in other countries. I guess that's normal. But I still hesitated because I'm not sure where to go, and I was pretty young at that time, around 10 years old. So I stayed in China. US has always been a mysterious yet inspiring place for me. The trigger for my departure was that my beloved piano teacher, Hung-Kuan Chen, who is teaching at Juilliard right now, left for Boston from Shanghai in 2009. And during that gap year, I took lessons from many different professors, but somehow always failed to find the mutual understanding that I established with Mr. Chen. So in 2010, I decided to leave China and study in Boston. You know, making a decision is always easier than to actually doing it. So I would say my life experiences in US really made me grow as a musician and as a human being. I discovered that there were so many musical talents here. There in Boston too. Here. And some of them have performed in as many countries and have played with as many orchestras, have played as much repertoire, and have seen as much or more of this world than I had. I felt a little bit lost because I found that the title of prodigy doesn't really work the same way here, even though I never really enjoyed that title anyways. So I started to think, what exactly is it that I want? Performing with all the greatest musicians, playing in all the greatest musical venues, or something else? Last year, during my freshman year at Juilliard, I felt even more intense competition around me. You know, that city full of talents and opportunities. I tried to get more concerts for myself to prove myself, and thought that the more concert I did, the more people will recognize me as a successful musician. But many managers kept trying to convince me that it is not as easy to market me as before because of my growing age. They suggested that the most important thing is for me to study hard and reveal my true self in music over time. I could not quite understand and felt pretty stressful. This summer, in the festival that I attended in Europe, a wonderful friend of mine asked me a question. What exactly is it that you want to achieve in your entire lifetime? This should be a very easy question for me, since I've been interviewed by newspaper and press on the same question for over 100 times maybe. I could simply say, I want to be a great pianist, for example. But this time, I actually didn't answer him right away and reflected for a few days. Later, I told him, I want to continue to perform on stage until age 80 or even 90, like my idols, Horowitz and Rubinstein. I want to continuously absorb new knowledge so that I don't get used up quickly. I want to continuously shine myself and bring good energy to the entire world through playing concerts and much more. Yes, this is exactly my aspiration. This is exactly where a big part of my passion toward music comes from. Some people has asked me in the past, if 99% of the people sitting in the audience are amateurs and non-musicians, and only 1% are professional musicians. Whom would you play for? I would normally smile and say, I will play for all of them. But when they insist on an answer, I would say, if I'm forced to make a preference, I would play for the 99% of the audience. My answer has raised controversy, but I don't care. Because for me, arousing interest in classical music from more people feels far more important than satisfying certain professionals' musical standards. Thank you for listening to my little personal story, and I will finish my talk with this piece, La Campanella by Liszt. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.